Faculty of Civil Engineering. I started. Okay. Is this working? Yeah. Okay. Well, hello. I'm Nina. I started at JP in November 2024 as planontwikkelaar. We will explain you what that means in a couple of slides. And I have a background in construction management and engineering, also in Delft. And in 2022, I started as a technical management trainee at TBE. And that makes a short bridge to what is TBE. Well, JP is part of TBE, which stands for Techniek, Bouw en Infra, which is translated to technology, construction works, and infrastructure. And it's a collective of 26 enterprises throughout the Netherlands. TBE itself is situated in Rotterdam. And the special thing about TBE is that it's steward-owned. And therefore, it has a very strong focus on the people, the society. And I will tell you something more about steward ownership. Well, that means that TBE is not listed on the stock exchange, and TBE is the only shareholder of all these 26 companies, and therefore it can easily reinvest in our companies, in people, and also in society. And it has a long-term focus on decisions instead of short-term profit maximization, because it doesn't have any responsibility to their shareholders. And some of these examples I would like to highlight is, for example, TBE has the Klimaattrein. In English, it's called the climate train. And the name comes from that we can step into the train to Paris for our climate goals from the Paris Agreement. And this is an investment fund for sustainable ideas, and both for internal, for our own TBE companies, but also for external. So if you're a part of a startup or you have an idea, you can, well, reach out to the Klimaattrein and ask for an investment to grow your idea and to bring some more sustainability into our sector, which is really, well, I think a very good thing of TBE. And it also has a praktijkfonds. It's a fund for education, especially in the craftsmanship. And it's for people that, well, didn't really fit into our regular education program in the Netherlands. So maybe people that dropped out from school or refugees, and they can, throughout the praktijkfonds, they can get into our sector. And lastly, TBE also has a fund for the school and study of all kids, of all employees. So in the previous slide, you saw more than 7,000 employees, and all their kids get financial help to follow their school and study. So these are examples of the, well, really strong focus on the society and her own people. So now we had a short introduction on JP, on ourselves, and also on TBE. We go back to the project you saw at the first slides. So we would like to tell you something about the front end, what it takes to realize these projects. And well, at first we need to acquire these projects. And we have two ways. We can do, yeah, we have two ways. We have our own project development and we work for external clients. So maybe you recognize this picture. It's in Rotterdam, Little C. That's one of our projects from our own project development. And our own project development is mainly focused on the urban environment, and mostly they are mixed-use projects. So we mostly have some commercial and living, and well, sometimes also some offices in the project. And it's really about adding value to the environment where we are developing. So here you see Euromast, also in Rotterdam. Our project development is now working on developing this area around the Euromast. And the strong thing about having our own project development is that we are a contractor and project developer in one. So we have really on the front of the development, we have a collaboration between project development, engineering, designing, but also already the realization and even maintenance and service. So that's really special instead of just a project developer that only develops the projects and then give it to a contractor. And the next, the other way we acquire our projects is by for external clients. And we work for different type of clients. We work for governmental parties, so for example, het Rijksvastgoedbedrijf or municipalities. But we also work for commercial project developers. And sometimes we have really special clients, like a private museum owner, which has a really specific specification or question for us. And we also work with different type of collaborations. So sometimes the client includes a design specification, sometimes only a engineering specification. And we also do the more traditional way of working as a contractor, and that's like a bestekswerk. So we only do some detail engineering and the realization of the project. And next to all these big, large projects, we also do transformation and renovation projects. And these projects are mostly a little bit less big, but very special. And that's because it's mostly for an external building where the user has a big role in the project. And it's a transformational renovation with mostly a focus on sustainability. So the question is to use bio-based or circular materials and decrease the energy need of the building. And those projects are mostly in a smaller scale and duration, but yeah, very specific and therefore special projects. And then I will give back the word to Tessa.
So, after we get the project, what is exactly the role of tendering, design, and engineering to realize these projects? Let me explain what the department planontwikkeling does. Some words we still have them in Dutch, so maybe some recognition for it. So, we have the different design phases of the project. It can start really early, but the different phases are from preliminary design, VO, to final design, the DO, and the TO, the technical design. And after that, we will have the construction phases and actually building it. But tendering starts mostly at the VO, DO, or TO. And what is tendering? It's a contest for multiple contractors who can best fulfill the customer's needs and requirements. And that differs from all kinds of projects. And it's about understanding the client, his or her needs, and turning this need into a tender strategy. And we hope to offer then the best combination of price and quality for the client. And how do we approach this tender? Our approach is to search for smart solutions and optimizations. Sometimes it can be a technical optimization, or sometimes to reduce the cost. We analyze and mitigating risks for both the client but also for ourselves. We also calculate the cost, so how much will the project cost in the end? And we create a plan of approach for quality as well as collaboration between the client and the contractor, and all that together with the building logistics. So, for example, how are we actually going to build it? What do we need? How big is the plot where we're actually going to build? And this all we combine price and plan as a deliverable for the client. So, and after winning the project, we get to work out the design, and we turn it into a buildable and constructible project. And mostly we do that during the same phases where we after the phase we won the tender. So that can be in the preliminary design, or it can also be at the technical design phase. And we will give examples of the project in the different design phases we work on, because it can be really different. So, for example, I work myself as on the Universe project. It's in The Hague. The client is Rijksvastgoedbedrijf and the architect is CPZ. They are located in Delft, which is close by. And it's an existing building. It's very large. It has been owned by KPN, and for a couple of years, it's already empty. And this office building we are going to build for the government. And we are going to renovate the building, not only the building, but we will also do the landscape, and we will add green roofs at different levels of the building. And the main goal is to have a circular and sustainable project. We mainly use reused materials. If that's not possible, and we have to get new materials, they need to be, for 80%, they need to be bio-based. So it's really sustainable, and it's a different way. The contract we have is UAVGC. I don't know the translation of English. And the design specifications are based on the requirements from het Rijksvastgoedbedrijf. We do that with system engineering, and we ourselves are responsible for the complete design and execution of the project. So we are ready from really the early design when we won the tender, and we set some goals and why we think we are offering the best quality for the Rijksvastgoedbedrijf. And after that, we are doing the different phases. And we have a phase after the final design. The client says, okay, I accept this project, and now it's our responsibility to really make it possible what we thought of the design.
So the next example of one of our projects is Hyde Park in Hoofddorp. That's a project where I'm working on right now. It's for BPD. It's one of the largest project developers of the Netherlands, I think. And the architect is Imbo. And this project contains 9 buildings, and 2 of them are in CLT construction, so cross-laminated timber. It also has a parking garage and a big roof garden. And the special thing about this project is that there are 9 different buildings, all with a very specific and different facade. And in total, it has 443 apartments and also some commercial spaces. Then where we got involved, we were asked to do a feasibility study at the end of the preliminary design. And after that, we took place in a BOW team. So we were an advisor in the design team. And our role was to control the cost, but also to improve the benefits for the clients. And we assessed the feasibility and buildability of the project already in the final design, in the DO. And after that, we will take over the complete responsibility of the project from for further engineering and also the construction. And by stepping into the design team in such a early phase, we really can assess the integral character of the design team, and not all the structural engineer and the architect just works on their own discipline, but really make it already in the early phase and an integral design. And then the next project we would like to to highlight is Dordthuis in Dordrecht. It's the client is the municipality of Dordrecht. It's also the new office for the municipality, and the architect is Schmid Hammer Lasse, which is a Danish architect. And this is a hybrid structure of concrete and also CLT. And this also is the special thing of this project are also the facades, which you can see on the next picture. So this is a very special ceramic facade. And for this project, we more had a traditional role. So we were only asked to do the detail engineering and the construction works. We did a tender for this project, and we won. And then the only thing we were asked to do is to assess the technical feasibility of the design, and also integrate market knowledge in the design to make it for detail engineering to really can realize the project. And this also means that we are only responsible for the construction work. So if we find any mistakes or gaps in the design, it's still the responsibility of the client, and we are only responsible to realize and to construct the plan. And that's the difference between the previous two projects, where we also had a design responsibility, and in this project we only have construction responsibility. So in really short, this was what we do at planontwikkeling, and also at the front end to make it possible to realize these beautiful projects we make. And we also wanted to explain, if you have any interest in our company, we have a lot of vacancies on our website. We also have a traineeship at JP van Eesteren, on JP van Eesteren, but also TBE offers a traineeship, which is a bit broader because it contains all the TBE companies. We also offer internships, graduation projects, and we also have some working students in our company. So everything is possible, and the only thing you have to do is reach out to Tessa or to me, and we also have our the email address and his phone number of our recruiter, Stijn. That's it. Any questions? Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. I think Tessa can answer this question the best.
You asked which material we reuse? Yeah, we reuse the ceilings from another building, and we reuse some parts for the walls as well. But we also had to change the glass of the existing building because it didn't require the norm, the new standards. It didn't require, so we replaced the glass, and we reused vacuum glass, if that's the correct translation of it. So and it's also that we also do the interior design, and there we also reuse a lot from other buildings we collect. And so it's we have to search really on the internet to get all the materials. So
and I think also the ceilings were
from another project of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Closely by the Kajeeplein. And we are doing that project, and so we get the ceilings out of it. So that's really nice for the change.
Yeah. More questions?
I wanted to say then, if there are no further questions, a round of applause for the presentation, but that's already been done. Thank you everybody for being here, and thank you for giving the presentation.